The gender reveal that lied, and the secret that destroyed everything. Gender reveal tragedies aren't new. We've seen accidental explosions, forest fires, even cars bursting into flames. But this wasn't an accident. This wasn't bad luck. This was intentional, planned, personal. And the man arrested for the crime swore he only snapped because the baby's wasn't his. A simple, almost predictable motive. A jealous boyfriend. A vulnerable woman. Another case of domestic violence ending in crime. At least, that's what everyone believed at first. But when investigators dug deeper, the inconsistencies were everywhere. Timelines didn't match. Alibis fell apart. Witnesses disagreed. Even the baby's gender, the one thing everyone thought they understood, turned out to be a lie. Tonight, we're diving into the fictional but chilling story of Arielle Simmons, a 27-year-old woman, 9 months pregnant, who almost died before her due date. And the truth behind the incident is darker and far more twisted than anyone ever expected. Stick around to the end, because the final twist will shake everything you think you know. Arielle Simmons had always been the bright one. Loud laugh, big dreams, a smile people remembered. Born in 1997 in Raleigh Heights, North Carolina, she was raised by her single mother, Monica, a nurse who worked double shifts but still found time to braid Arielle's hair before school. Arielle grew up fast, mature, responsible, strong. But when it came to relationships, that strength disappeared. She loved too hard, trusted too easily, forgave too quickly, and that weakness is what led her straight into the arms of the man who would eventually destroy her. Started the same way these stories always do. Pretty girl, a charming guy, a moment that felt harmless. Arielle met Darius Hall, 31, at a gas station. She was buying gummy worms and peach tea. He was leaning against his silver Honda, flashing a grin that felt too confident to be safe. "Hey," he said, "you single?" She laughed. "Nah, I'm pregnant." "How far?" he asked, amused. 7 months. Most men would back off. Darius leaned closer. "What you doing after the baby?" "Being a mom," Arielle replied. "Let me get your number anyway." She gave it, smiling, and that smile sealed everything. Everyone loved Darius, at least on social media. He bought her flowers, took her out for steak, posted videos of him rubbing her belly, kissing her forehead, calling her my queen. People commented, "Y'all so cute. Black love is real. Protect this man at all costs." But behind the curated posts, behind the TikTok couple challenges and matching pajamas, were red flags so bright they could have blinded anyone willing to look. Controlling behavior, jealous accusations, sudden mood swings. Arielle told her friends. They told her she was overthinking. After all, online he looked perfect. So she stayed. And that decision cost her everything. April 8th, a warm Saturday. Arielle's backyard. A Princess and the Frog theme. Balloons everywhere. Dozens of friends with their predictions. Her mom said, "Girl." Her sister said, "Girl." Darius pointed at his chest and said, "Team boy, stop playing. It's a boy. I know it." But when the smoke cannons burst, a cloud of pink filled the air. It was a girl. Definitely, undeniably, pink as bubblegum girl. Everyone cheered. Everyone except Darius. His smile dropped. His jaw tightened. His grip on Arielle's waist stiffened. Later, he wouldn't even touch her stomach. Wouldn't look at the ultrasound photo. Wouldn't speak the baby's name. That night, Arielle messaged her cousin. "He's acting weird." He barely said anything. "Something feels off." She had no idea. That moment of pink smoke was the spark that lit the fuse. 2 weeks later, the arguments started. "You lying about who the daddy is. You trying to trap me with a girl I didn't want. You think I'm stupid?" Arielle cried as he yelled. She tried to calm him. It only made him angrier. She packed a bag, planned to leave. Then he changed. He apologized, cried, begged, promised therapy, promised marriage. She forgave him, called it pregnancy stress, and gave him a second chance he didn't deserve. July 19th. Arielle was 38 weeks pregnant. Tired, excited, nervous. She planned to name the baby Kalia. She posted belly pictures with the caption, "Any day now." Her friends hyped her up. Her mom started packing hospital snacks. Everyone was ready. Everyone except Darius. He hardly spoke to her, barely came home. His co-workers said he seemed stressed. And then, on July 22nd, at 8:13 a.m., he called 911, his voice shaking, crying, saying he walked in from grocery shopping and found Arielle on the floor, unresponsive, barely breathing, covered in blood. The operator tried to guide him through CPR, but he kept panicking. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital. Doctors worked for 36 minutes, but Arielle was brutally injured. Everyone believed it was another domestic violence case, just another tragedy, another predictable ending. But then the inconsistencies appeared. Police found a metal pipe in the bedroom, a kitchen knife on the floor, both covered in blood. At first glance, an obvious weapon set, but the angle of the wounds didn't match the angle of the pipe. Not even close. It was staged, too clean. Too placed. Someone wanted investigators to think it was a crime of passion. Someone who didn't understand forensics. Darius swore he was grocery shopping from 8 to 8:10 a.m. Surveillance footage confirmed he was at the store, but only for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. He walked in, walked out, bought nothing. Yet in the 911 call, he claimed he had bags of groceries. There were no groceries in the apartment. A neighbor's Ring camera caught Darius leaving the apartment at 7:42 a.m. without Arielle. He carried a plastic bag, looked calm, got into his car, left, returned at 8:11. If Arielle was still fine at 7:42, she wasn't long after. They treated her, and after some weeks she got better with her baby. Another ultrasound reveals the baby was a boy. The baby wasn't a girl. Despite the pink smoke, despite the gender reveal, despite everything, the baby was a boy, a healthy, full-term baby boy. So why did the gender reveal smoke show pink? Why did everyone think the baby was a girl? Why did Darius react the way he did? DNA tests gave the chilling answer. The baby wasn't his, and Darius knew, not because Arielle told him, not because of a paternity test, but because he never wanted the baby in the first place, not if it wasn't his, and someone had tampered with the gender reveal results. Not Arielle, not her mom, not her friends, someone else. Someone Arielle didn't know had been watching her, studying her, manipulating everything, and that person wasn't Darius. When detectives dug into phone records, they found someone unexpected, a name that showed up in texts, calls, voicemails, unsaved number, deleted messages. Someone who had been contacting Arielle weeks before the incident. Someone she told, "Please stop calling me. I'm pregnant. It's not yours. Leave me alone." Someone who had a history of violence. Someone who had threatened her once before. A second man. A man connected to her past. Someone she never told her family about. And suddenly everything changed. 2 suspects. 2 motives. 2 timelines that didn't match. The second man was blood. The police think they're closing in. They aren't. Not even close. Because the second man, the one who slipped into the gender reveal party unnoticed, the one who planted the decoy message, the one who left Arielle shaking and silent, wasn't a stranger. He was family, and Arielle had spent years trying to erase him, but he'd never erased her. Not once. Arielle sits in the interview room, hands trembling, voice flat. "I know who the second man is," she whispers, "but you're not going to believe me." Detectives lean in. She hesitates, because this story doesn't start at the gender reveal. It starts years earlier, back when Arielle was 13, back when her cousin, older, charming, admired by the whole family, started showing her too much attention. She told everyone they were close. No one looked deeper. No one wanted to. Arielle cut him off when she turned 18, moved out, changed her number, never looked back. But he did. He watched her photos, tracked her life, smiled when she announced she was pregnant, and snapped when he realized the father wasn't him. Detectives scroll through photos found on the burner phone left at the venue. Every picture is of Arielle. Not artistic, not romantic. Surveillance. Years of it. Different cars, different addresses, different boyfriends, and then something worse. A picture of her ultrasound, taken through a window during her doctor's appointment. Someone had zoomed through glass. Someone had stood outside, watching, waiting, breathing against the pain. Arielle's voice shakes. I think he believed the baby was his. Detectives stiffen. Your partner? One asks. Arielle shakes her head slowly. No, my cousin. Name? Evan. Age? 32. Missing since the night of the gender reveal. Detectives replay the venue's CCTV. At 4:52 p.m., a man in a black hoodie enters through the service door. Face hidden. Walks slow. Confident. He moves like he knows the layout. Like he's rehearsed it. He walks into the storage room and stays there for 2 hours. Waiting. Watching staff move. Listening to guests outside. Tracking Arielle's voice. He emerges only when the lights flicker, right before the explosion of the confetti cannon. And then he walks straight to her gift table and places a small white box. A box addressed to my firstborn. Inside, positive pregnancy test. Not hers, his fantasy. At 7:13 p.m., a single text hits Arielle's phone. You're choosing the wrong father. She thought it was a prank. Thought it was one of her partner's jealous exes. But detectives trace the number back to a Wi-Fi hotspot registered to Evan's old apartment. The one he lived in before she cut him off. The one he abandoned without notice. The one where the landlord said, yeah, he left everything behind, except the walls. Those he covered with pictures. Pictures of Arielle. Pictures of her baby bump. Pictures of her sleeping. At the gender reveal, minutes after the mysterious text, Arielle stepped outside to breathe. The party was loud, the air thick, her pulse racing. But outside, it was silent. Too silent. Then she heard it. A click. A camera shutter. She spun and saw him, her cousin, smiling, still seeing her as 13, still calling her his. Arielle froze, and he whispered, you should have told me. You should have let me be part of this. She ran. He disappeared, but she didn't tell anyone about it. And then the sabotage began. Evidence techs pull the confetti cannon apart. Inside the wiring, they find a thin copper strip manually loosened. One spark, one delay, just enough to scare, just enough to cause confusion, just enough to create chaos so he could slip in and out unseen. The gender reveal wasn't meant to harm. It was meant to distract, so he could get close to her, close to the baby. Detectives search Evan's missing persons file. No one reported him missing. Not his parents, not his siblings, not a single family member. They all thought he was traveling again. But something stands out. A week before the gender reveal, Evan bought a crib, baby clothes, a rocking chair, formula diapers, and a customized onesie that says, Daddy's favorite. Only detectives notice the chilling detail. He ordered everything in duplicate. 2 of each item. 2 babies. 2 parents. 2 new lives. 1 fantasy family he built without permission. Without reality. Without Arielle. Evan isn't missing. He never left. Asterisk asterisk. As detectives widen the search radius around the venue, they find security footage from the gas station across the street. At 8:41 p.m., during peak chaos, Evan exits the venue parking lot. Not running, not panicked, calm, serene, like a man finishing a task he'd been planning for years. He gets into a blue SUV, not his. The plates registered to someone unexpected. Arielle's uncle, his father, meaning someone in the family helped him, or at least knows more than they're saying. Detectives question the uncle. At first, he stonewalls. Then he breaks. And what he says changes everything. Evan wasn't supposed to talk to her. It's been the rule since the incident. We promised we'd keep him away. But when she got pregnant, he said it was a sign. He said she was starting the family they were meant to have. Arielle collapses in tears. Her family knew. Everyone knew. Everyone except her. Detectives get word from forensics. The white box Evan left at the party, it wasn't just a pregnancy test inside. The foam padding hides a second compartment. Inside is a USB drive labeled custody plan. They plug it in and find a video. Evan speaking directly to the camera. Calm, soft-spoken, unblinking. If you're watching this, it means the reveal is over. And it means she still hasn't chosen me. Don't worry, I have a backup plan. Permanent one. For all three of us. The video cuts abruptly. Detectives freeze. 3 of us? Arielle, the baby, and him. But where is he now? And what exactly is this backup plan? The screen goes black. A beep sounds. Then a final message appears. Step 1 begins tomorrow. Fade out. The backup plan. Silence. Cold. Heavy. Absolute. Detectives stare at the screen, the last words still glowing. Step 1 begins tomorrow. Arielle's voice is barely a whisper. What does that mean? What is he planning? Nobody knows. Not yet. But by morning, they will. And it's worse than any of them imagined. Police flood the city with alerts. Every highway camera, every gas station, every motel, every ATM. They search for the blue SUV Evan took. Nothing. It's like he disappeared into a crack in the earth. Meanwhile, Arielle's partner is moved into protective custody with her. 2 officers outside their door. 24/7 watch. But Arielle can't sleep. Every creak sounds like his footsteps. Every shadow feels like him watching. That's when her phone buzzes. Unknown number. 1 message. Step 1. She drops the phone. Officers rush in. And then another text. Picture. It's the crib Evan bought. Set up in a dark room. Rocking gently. Caption. We're waiting. Arielle screams. Detectives know. This is no longer obsession. This is escalation. At dawn, forensics cracks the metadata of the photo. The location pings from a rural area 30 minutes outside town. An abandoned farmhouse. A dead zone with no cell towers. The perfect hiding place. The perfect place to wait. And the perfect place for a backup plan. SWAT mobilizes. Arielle insists on going. They say no. She says, if he sees you first, he'll run. If he sees me, he'll stop. She's right. Against protocol, they allow her in the convoy, armored car, bulletproof vest, officers on every side. The farmhouse appears on the horizon. Gray, rotting, silent, waiting for them. Before they breach, her phone buzzes again. 1 last text from Evan. Step 2 begins when I see you. Come inside. Bring no one. Arielle's blood runs cold. He's watching. He sees them. But from where? Drone footage sweeps the property. No movement. No heat signatures. Until thermal picks up a figure in the basement. Slow. Pacing. Rocking something. A crib. Evan. He's alone. No weapons visible. But his mind? That's the weapon. SWAT forms a perimeter. Arielle steps forward. Her legs shake, but she walks. To the porch. To the door. To the darkness she ran from for half her life. She pushes it open. The air hits her first. Dust. Damp wood. And something sweet like old perfume. His mother's perfume. The one he used to say, smelled like family. Her stomach twists. She descends the stairs slowly. Each creak of the wooden steps echoes like a countdown. At the bottom, she sees him, sitting in the dim glow of a single bulb, back turned, head tilted, rocking the empty crib, whispering to it, "Shoo, Daddy's here. Mommy's coming. We'll be a family soon." Arielle's breath catches. She steps forward. His body stiffens. He turns, and she sees what's left of the cousin she once knew. Wild eyes. Sunken cheeks, a smile stretched too wide. "There you are," he whispers. "You took so long. I was getting worried." She swallows her terror. "Evan, this isn't real." There is no family. There never was. His smile dies. Slowly, painfully, he stands. You promised me, he hisses. When you were younger, you said you'd never leave me. Her voice breaks. I was a child. He shakes his head. You were mine. Footsteps pound upstairs. Backup is ready to breach. Evan hears it, and something in him shatters. He lunges not toward her, toward the crib, reaching under it for something hidden. A weapon, a knife, a gun. No time to see. Breach! Breach! The basement explodes in noise. Lights, shouts, orders. Evan freezes. Red dots cover his chest. Drop it! He looks at Arielle, eyes wide, broken. I just wanted us. He reaches again. Flash, a bang, a scream, 2 shots. Evan collapses. The object clatters to the ground. Not a gun, not a knife, a birth certificate, blank, with Arielle's name typed in as the mother, and his name typed in as the father. He'd forged a family on paper and tried to force reality to match. There a note that says, if you can't be mine, you can't be with anyone else, found on the floor. Arielle falls to her knees, tears streaming, shaking, conflicted, but safe, alive, free, at last. The investigation unfolds over weeks. The truth spills, the stalking, the photos, the fantasies, the sabotage, the years of obsession hidden by the family. Arielle's uncle is charged with obstruction, her aunt with failure to report, her parents with reckless endangerment for hiding the incident when she was 13. The entire network of silence collapses. Arielle testifies, voice strong, no more fear, no more secrets, no more looking over her shoulder. Her daughter, born months later, grows up hearing the truth, that her mother survived the one person who was supposed to protect her, and beat a predator hiding in the skin of family. Arielle raises her child with love, peace, safety, and a promise. No cycle of silence will ever continue through her. Not again. Not ever. The court rules Evan's death justified. Case closed. Justice delivered. Story ends.